Thank you very much. Delighted to be here today to talk about the 6 things you can do to kill your chances of landing a TEDx talk. A lot of people will tell you what you can do to land a TEDx talk. These 6 things, if you do any of them, it doesn't matter what else you do, because chances are you will be immediately tossed into what the TEDx selection committee calls the no pile. So yeah, commit one of these crimes and you will end up almost immediately dismissed out of hand and in the no pile. 12 TEDx talks, correct. Have been selected 14 times. One in Los Angeles, one in Sun Valley, Idaho, where I couldn't go because I had a paid speaking engagement and conflicted with the, and my 13th will be in San Diego in January, I do believe. So do I need to tell you a world record? He said humbly. Bill Gates has 8. Okay. Now, granted, his are TED Talks, the big TED Talks, but still. So, first thing the selection committees have told me that kill most TEDx applications: too much. Too much. Too many ideas. A TEDx is one idea worth spreading. And the beauty of that is, as a professional speaker, I'm big on, as a professional speaker, to quote Jane Atkinson, wealthy speaker coach, you need to pick a lane. And TEDx forces you to pick a lane, one thing to talk about. I believe you should become the thought leader expert in your lane. I believe the long game is that when somebody comes looking for a speaker who speaks on your topic, they don't come looking for just anybody. They come looking for you. And it's happened several times to me. I go, how'd you find me? We came looking for you. We heard about you. We didn't want just anybody, we wanted you. By the way, here's the power of speaking to associations. I spoke to an association of construction companies in Cincinnati 2 years ago. And I spoke on suicide prevention. Suicide has the most ridiculous rate of suicide of any industry in the U.S. 1,000 people die by accident every year in construction. Last year, 6,000 people in construction died of suicide. You are 6 times more likely to jump off the building than fall off. So I'm at the event. I got $7,500 for the keynote, and I got 2 more engagements, spin-off from companies in the audience. 2 years later, this past January, there was a meeting of the board of directors of the Ohio Construction Association, and with a month to go before their meeting, their conference, they decided we need a suicide prevention speaker. Who in the world are we going to get? Somebody on the board had been at that meeting in Cincinnati and said, Frank King, the mental health comedian. So I got the gig. And they called me with 30 days to go. And for the first time ever, I decided, because they called me and we only had 30 days to go, it was time to trot out my all-inclusive program plus travel, just to see how it flew. So he goes, how much? I said, my all-inclusive program plus travel is $12,500. What's that include? Keynote, workshop, 45 minutes comedy at your banquet. Well, Frank, itinerary is already set. Don't have time for a workshop. Or, we've already got entertainment for the banquet. How much is the keynote? Well, okay, $7,500, I guess. So like I said, so 4 engagements, $75,000 for the first one, $15,000 for the 2 spinoffs, and another $75,000. So that's $30,000 one engagement. The whole idea being one to many. You're speaking to people who have a problem that you can solve and they're willing to pay you for it. That's why selecting one thing. Speakers Bureau said to me, what do you speak on? Suicide prevention is a workplace health and safety priority. What else? That's it. What? That's it. That's what I speak on. I want to be known for that. I want to be the expert, the thought leader. I want to be that guy. And I have 6 industries. I believe you should only have a handful of industries that you speak to. I have 6. I think 3 to 6 is a good number. Veterinarians, physicians, dentists, agriculture, attorneys, construction are my 6 industries. And I have a landing page for each. .com/suicide-prevention-speaker-construction, because that's what they type in. I did an osteopathic group, national convention. I said, how'd you find me? She goes, Frank, on a whim, I typed in suicide prevention speakers, osteopath, thinking, what are the odds? Oh my God, there is one. Agriculture, same story. She goes, Frank, and the thing about your website is, I believe you should join the conversation in the client's mind. You know, the questions they're asking themselves. She goes, I'm looking at your website. The first paragraph says this: I bet you were chosen to select just the best suicide prevention speaker in agriculture. I thought to myself, how does he know that? That's the beauty of being that thought leader, expert, and joining the conversation in the meeting planner setting. So that's the beauty of a TEDx, is it forces you to pick a lane. So number one thing that kills most TEDx applications, too much. Number two is a cousin of number one. Too much about one thing, one idea worth spreading. They do not want a thesis. They want an idea worth spreading, and they want it to be brief. And here's how you know. On the application, and here, the beauty of the application for the TEDx is most of them ask the same questions, all the same questions. So what you can do is prepare a document with the answers to the most frequently asked questions, and then it's a lot of cutting and pasting from that point on. But oftentimes they'll say, give us your idea in 3 sentences. Give us an elevator pitch in 10 to 15 words. Give us a 90-second overview of your talk. Now, I believe they do that, several reasons. One, they figure if you can sum it up in 3 sentences, you can do it in 18 minutes. Although nowadays, TEDx committees are pushing people to 8 to 12 minutes. Shorter talks, higher impact. But again, if you can sum it up in 90 seconds, you can probably do it in anywhere from 8 to 18 minutes. On the application, when they say, give us a 3-sentence summary, if you give them 4 sentences, boom. They're looking for people who can follow directions. A friend of mine who was, I think it was my 11th and 12th, or 10th and 12th TEDx talks, did 2 for her. She said, Frank, I do that. If they give me 91 seconds instead of 90 seconds on a video, I don't care what the rest of the application says. They're not, I've got 14 speakers. And it'd be like herding cats if none of them can follow directions. So, and you know what? On her events, we finished early because everybody stuck to their time. The people she selected stuck to their time. So, 1 is too much, too many ideas. 2, too much about one idea. 3 is, creativity. I believe that is the linchpin. That is the first hurdle to get over with a TEDx application, because the average TEDx talk gets 300 applications. Seattle reportedly gets 500 applications for every TED talk. Once a year, 500 applications. So if I'm on the application selection committee, I'm on the selection committee, and I'm going through these applications, and let's say we have 5 people on the committee and we each got 100 applications. I'm not looking for the first reason to give you an audition. I'm looking for the first reason not to, and throw you in the no pile. By the way, somebody mentioned this about meeting planners. I think Henry did, is that when they're looking over your stuff, if they've got a bunch of people to go through, chances are they're not looking for the first reason to book you to do the conference. They're looking for the first reason not to and go on to the next person because they got a number of people to go through. So never give them a reason not to book you. Learn that in comedy. People watch, comedy bookers watch tapes, they're looking for the first reason, the first F-bomb or whatever, done. So I tell my comics when I talk comedy, look, if you're gonna drop the F-bomb, carpet bomb them with the F-bomb. Yeah, be the dirtiest comic on the planet. Because one F-bomb is not gonna get you a job, but it will keep you from getting a job. If you choose to go dirty, go just be, dirty. Yeah, don't just a little here, a little there. Yeah, yeah. And I love well-written dirty comedy, by the way. No, good well-written where it's not just gratuitous, it's just really well-written is a thing to behold. I'm a clean comic, by the way. I think I may have mentioned the dirty little secret about clean comedy is you can do it more places, it pays a lot more money. But anyway, so 1 is too many ideas. 2 is too much on one idea. 3 is creativity. You need a hook. You need to catch the attention of the selection committee. I've had 2 talks that I've done, number 4 and number 5. They liked the title, subtitle, idea so much, I didn't have to audition. That told me the title of number 4 was Suicide, the Secret of My Success. Counterintuitive. Dead Man Talking. Play on Dead Man Walking, the movie and the book. They called me, no man, just come on down and do that. The 5th one, the only one I ever got a standing ovation for, was, and I knew not every committee was going to like this idea. I knew, as a matter of fact, a lot of committees would not like it, but whoever did would just love it. On the 16th try, the title was Mental Health and the Orgasm, Treat Your Depression Single-Handedly. Yeah, yeah. And the elevator pitch was, I love my iPhone, but it's my second favorite handheld device. They called me and go, no man, just come over here and do that. Oh yeah, it was so much fun. I mean, there was scientific information in there, you know. There are benefits of, I'm sure the good doctor would tell us, there are benefits of, you know, of these sorts of things, orgasm in particular. The closing line, and my wife told me, this got me a standing ovation. My wife told me, don't do that. I go, I'm gonna do it, it's gonna kill. At the end I said, do you guys know why they call an orgasm? And they're looking at me like, no. And I said, because nobody can spell. Yeah. Standing ovation. But that told me that the creativity, you got to have a hook. The Church of Purpose. That is a great title. Even if when it goes up on YouTube, it's not called that. The application's a marketing pitch. So you may go, Frank, I don't want to call my TEDx talk that. Well, you don't have to call your TEDx talk that. We just have to use that to get their attention, to get you the audition, to get you the talk. You can call it something else when you put it up on YouTube. It's just a marketing pitch. I had the #1 physician for the military in Canada who wanted to do a TEDx on psilocybin, which is the psychoactive ingredient in magic mushrooms, because it's good for depression, PTSD, and substance abuse disorder. And he wanted to destigmatize the use of psychedelics. So I gave him a title for the pitch, something on the order of, maybe the mushrooms really are magic. And he was upset because that's like the street language, that's the slang for, you know, that's the drug culture magic. I go, look, you don't have to call it that when it goes up on YouTube. I said, but I road tested the word psilocybin, 6 people. They all stared at me like a pig staring at a wristwatch. I said, magic mushrooms, oh! So, but you know, he got so mad, he went away. We could have done it. If he'd just gone with my idea for the pitch, he could have done it. So, Amy, friend of mine, she signed up with another company, Thought Leader, good company, gets a lot of people TEDx talks. She goes, oh, I wish I'd known you did this. I just signed up 2 weeks ago, Thought Leader. I said, they're a good company, you'll get your TED Talk. A couple months later, she called me crying. She'd applied 80 times, 80. Yeah, and nothing. And I said, send me what you're sending them. I's dotted, T's crossed, it just didn't sing. I said, Amy, do you mind if I put a little creative magic on what I got to lose? 80 times. Within 5 applications, she got TEDx Beacon Street, Boston. That told me that it's creativity. All righty, creativity. Select the right TEDx coach. I'm not saying you have to have me do it, but somebody with some creativity, or a company that has somebody on staff who understands that you have to have a hook. could be a great talk, but if it doesn't sing, it doesn't grab them, it doesn't excite them, and they got all these other applications to go through, then you've lost before you've begun almost. Let's see. Passion. There's a great book called Talk Like Ted. Talk Like Ted by Carmine Gallo. Talk Like Ted by Carmine Gallo. He watched, 500 TEDx talks. Boiled it down to 9 things he believes are in every great TED or TEDx. Number 1 thing, passion. Because it's hard to be inspiring if you're not inspired. So a young woman called me one time and said, I want to do a TEDx talk on customer service. I said, I can't help you. What? I can't take your money. Why not? I can't sell it. Are you really that passionate about customer service? If you'd called me and said, Frank, I want to talk about the power of empathy in the customer experience. Okay, I think I can work with that. But customer service? So you got to be passionate. You guys know I speak on suicide prevention. Do you think I'm passionate about this? Do you? Yeah. Yeah. Well, to answer it, you had several questions, Ann. One of them was, what am I planning to do? Save a life a day. That's my goal. Save a life a day is my goal. By the way, the Cincinnati story I told you, I did a construction company on site with the rank and file, and oftentimes after I speak, people line up to share a personal story. Because I tell them, look, if you don't have a story you don't want to share with everybody, I'll hang out another 30, 45 minutes. Young man comes up crying. Nice young African-American gentleman. I wait till he stopped crying, gathered himself. I said, what's up? He goes, I haven't slept in 2 nights. I work on the 5th floor, thinking about jumping off every day. Why? I've lost 3 people to violence in the last year, including my daughter who died in my arms. And I waved the HR guy over. I go, look, you can take this nice young man by the hand, go grab the EAP, Employee Assistance Program binder, find the closest mental health facility, get him there right now. He's circling the drain. A couple of months later, I get a call from the HR guy on a different issue. And I'm terrified to ask whatever happened. Finally, I worked up my courage. I go, what happened to that nice African-American gentleman I talked to after the presentation? He goes, Frank, he got evaluated, medicated, he's back on the job. That's why I do what I do. That's what I'm passionate about, is for people like that. So, passion. And finally, the last one is very simple, is people fail to apply enough. I've had a number of clients that signed up with me that had applied a couple times locally for the TEDx nearby. Yeah, Frank, I applied 2, 3, 4 times, never got it, gave up. Okay, look, it's a numbers game to a certain extent. There's 200 of them in the country, 200 plus in North America if you count Canada. I've never done a TEDx except a virtual one that I didn't have to fly to. So my clients and I, we apply everywhere. And I've had 2 clients do them in London. I mean, I didn't mind flying across the pond to go do them in London. So you just have to apply. People ask me, who among your clients gets a TEDx talk? Very simple. People who come and we do an hour a week for 2 or 3 weeks a month and submit 3 to 6 applications a month, 100% of them have gotten a TEDx talk. People who don't come or don't come regularly, I can only take partial credit for them not getting. But people who come 2 or 3 times a month, 3 to 6 applications a month, get a TEDx talk, or 2 or 3. I've got several clients with 3. And people ask me, how long does it take to get a TEDx? Well, I've got a client I just signed up who got 2 TEDx's in the first 3 applications. I'm not sure if he's got like compromising photographs of people on the selection committee or what. Had a client who took 90 applications, bless his heart. He did a spreadsheet. Now, and his TEDx, he had 3 different ideas. The last idea was everything I learned by being turned down to do a TEDx. And they love the parody of it. So, yeah. Anyway, so by the way, those are the 6 things you can do to kill your chances. Yeah, too much, too many ideas, too much about one idea, not creative enough, choose the wrong coach, passion, and not applying enough. Boom. That's it.